Hi, everybody. Good evening and welcome to my Tuesday night live. Sorry about the delay. We're having a few technical difficulties getting online. So, for those of you who have been waiting, thank you again for your patience. This is the Approved Guys YouTube channel. On tonight, I have a special guest with us, Denzel Rodriguez. One moment. All right. So tonight we have a special guest, Denzel Rodriguez. We're going to be going over a case study, one of my clients that I've been helping, and just seeing if it makes sense and what makes sense for him, his next step, based on his velocity banking and infinite banking journey. But before we get started, I always want to start the night with a scripture and give respect to the Lord. And so with that, the scripture for the night is going to be Proverbs chapter 3, verse 16 through 18, which is long life is in her right hand, and in her left hand are riches and honor. Her ways are pleasant ways, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to those who take hold of her, and those who hold her fast will be blessed. Long life is in her right hand. In her left hand are riches and honor. This is talking about wisdom. For those of you who don't know, Proverbs is the book of wisdom. And this is saying that in her right hand are long life, and in her left hand are riches and honor. Not just riches, but and honor. That means riches with integrity. So please write this scripture down, digest this, and know that God's wish for you is to have long life and for you to have riches and honor. All right, with that said, let's bring Denzel on. Here we are. Good evening, Denzel.
How are you?
I'm great,
Good to
brother.
be
Thanks
here,
for
man.
joining me tonight. How are you today?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Doing well, doing well. Appreciate what we get to do here. We got like about 10 or so people in the house, which is really cool.
Awesome, sir.
So I'm excited to dive into today's case study.
Beautiful. All right. So, with that said, I will do my best to monitor the comments as we go, and we'll try to stop later on and respond to some of the feedback or questions. And so, what would you like to do now? Would you like me to kind of give you the variables? I shared them with you earlier. Um, how would you like to kind of take off with this?
So I think it would be best to give, from your perspective, the background of this client that you're working with, really the history, just their journey
Sure.
up until this point, and then we can get into sharing the numbers
Mm-hmm.
in terms of what your initial plans and thoughts were to implement this strategy, the different tools that you've been pulling on to make it happen for this client, going over that.
Mm-hmm.
And then based on that information and the conversations we had offline, I've got a strategy that I would like to present to that client for them to actually watch and listen and to consider for their next move. So the approach that I'm going to take is going to be very, very conservative, just based off of all of the details, all the information, all the numbers, without ever speaking to the client one to one, right? And then how both of our ideas can like come together, provide a really good solution for this person.
Certainly. All right. So I met this client back in around May of 2024. Um, at that time, he was trying to figure out what to do, whether he should purchase the MoneyMax account software or if he should, buy a life insurance policy and borrow from a policy and, or maybe. So I introduced him. He wasn't familiar with the first lien HELOC. Kind of explained to him velocity banking and how a first lien HELOC works, and introduced him to a lender that helped him, qualified him, approved him, And then about a month or two later, he called me back and said he got his first lien HELOC and he's ready to go with his infinite banking strategy. So before we did anything else, we basically went ahead and wanted to see what he got qualified for with his life insurance, just to see what could we potentially work with. It took a little while for various reasons, health wise, but it took about 3 or 4 months for him to finally get approved. So that's kind of why it took so long. Finally got approved around, I think, towards the end of September. Um, Actually, no, towards the mid-December is where he got approved finally. So at that point, we started looking at different size policies and how he could use them. One of his things is that he does want to build a policy in cash value and be able to leverage that. He's just around 50, 51 years old, so not much more time to wait, and he wants to kind of get that going. Um, so of course, we kind of ran some scenarios. Okay, if you set up a policy and borrowed from it to pay off the HELOC, we looked at different size policies of doing that, and we got down to a very conservative size policy. One of the things that you've always said that I follow is, if what's the worst case scenario? What's the worst thing that could happen? Kind of looked at that with him, and then said, well, if you're okay with that, if you can accept that, um, and you're comfortable with the upside, then it's not necessarily that's not necessarily your answer, but at least that lets you know that it's a way to go, that it's an option that you can consider. So before we went any further, I said, you know what, let me run it by you and get your feedback on it, and definitely you gave me some alternate perspective. So I guess that's where we are now. So we're not settled or fixed on any policy per se. He is approved. He can qualify for quite a bit of insurance based on what he was approved for, and he has the HELOC in place, which we have all the numbers that we'll go over. Now, unfortunately, since he got approved for the HELOC, his daughter went to college, and he had to help her get a car. So he had to now add some debt into the situation. He had to spend some of the credit cards that he had reduced balances on. So he increased debt a little bit. He does have good income. He has some extra side income from coaching that he does. And he has two existing life insurance policies that are whole life policies that he's had for about almost 50 years since he was a child. I think the premium on them was like $6 a month is what we determined, and they have cash value. So we were originally looking at maybe using the cash value on those policies for a lump sum, whether or not that made sense. And so I think that's a good overall overview of the circumstances of the situation. Any questions on that? Of course, we're going to get the details and the numbers.
Yes. So he got approved for the first position home equity line of credit around, you would say, like maybe like July or August of 2024.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Now, in order to get approved for the first lien HELOC, you have to have quite a bit of debt paid off. Your DTI has to be down, credit score. So once he got approved, got the first lien HELOC, you said that he had to take on more debt. According to the spreadsheet, and we'll probably get into the thick of it. I don't want to, reveal too much information because, we're trying to keep things, private. But in summary, what would you say was the total accumulated amount of debt between July?
All right, there you are. Wow, that was crazy. All right. So I have to add you.
Now
Yep.
we are back. All right.
All right. So sorry, folks. Uh, just looked like everything crashed, and here we are back again. Yeah, yeah. I know, Mike. We had a glitch. It should be back on though. Should be good to go.
Yep. Looks good on my end. 12 people still in the house. So shout out to everyone that is very patient. Dealt with this before, it happens. But I think we can get back to it. I think it cut off right when I said around July, August is when the first lien HELOC was approved, or when he got access to it.
Correct.
Right?
Right.
Cool. And then you said he got approved for life insurance around December. And then my question was regarding the total amount of debt that he accumulated roughly
Yeah.
around that time.
Um,
You had
it was about
told me he had a
30,000.
lot paid off. My point of view,
About 30,000.
so he acquired about 30 more thousand.
Correct.
Okay.
And we are
prior to getting the first lien HELOC.
correct.
Okay.
No, this was.
Cool. Everything's still good.
Are we? Okay, Mike says it's clean, crisp, and clear now.
Perfect. Cool. So outside of that, any other details the audience should know? We're dealing with here, is this an entrepreneur? Is this a W-2 employee? What kind of person are we working?
Yeah, he is a W-2 employee. He works for the school system, but he does coaching on the side, and so he earns extra income through his coaching.
Gotcha. So coaching is his side business. What kind of coaching does he do? Do you know?
Sports coaching.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
And
All right.
this
So
income is a combination of both his and his wife's income.
got it. So we're dealing with two incomes plus side income, which in my example here, I didn't even account for that extra side income.
Right.
To kind of show very, very conservative numbers. So with that, would you like to share the policy design without revealing personal information in terms of what kind of whole life policy we're looking at?
Let's see what I could do.
It could just be like just going to the supplemental values of the design without showing their name.
Yeah. Let me do a screenshot. I think that'll be better.
Okay.
So this is just where we kind of left off on as actually after you and I spoke as a more conservative option.
Yeah, let's show the latest design for max, the most conservative one.
There we go.
Okay, perfect. Are you able to zoom in a little bit more?
Don't think I can. This is a screenshot, so I don't think I could go any.
Okay. Well, I think I can follow it. 26,809, correct?
Correct. So that's a $6,000 lump sum added in year one. From he has in savings, he has about $900 a month in cash flow. How we doing?
Good.
Something's
So
up.
26,809
Yeah.
first year. And then the preceding years is 20,809
Correct.
for about 10 years. All right. And you said cash flow about nine, almost $1,000 a month, conservative. That's between all the incomes. And then what other capital do we have to work with?
I have to change this so I could go there. Hang on.
That's okay. I know you mentioned he's got savings.
All right. Sorry about that. Okay. So. Let's close that. Yeah. So there's $6,000 in savings that he wanted to use. Um, about $2,000 getting from a tax refund, and then he has 1,000 in his extracurricular pay, which is the coaching and an insurance buyback that he has him. So total extra income is about 10,000, and then that's the 6,000 is on top of that. So it's 10,000 income on top of the W-2 income, and then 6,000 is savings.
So total about 16K.
Correct. And then his cash flow is 900 a month that he's going to use as well.
Whiteboard here, if you're able to, for everyone to see. Should be able to make me go full screen. Okay, perfect. All right, so just want to double check with the audience, and audio is good on your end, Sebastian. Everything's good. Looks clean.
Everything looks good on my side.
Okay, awesome. So based on that information, folks, and again, with the technical issues, you may have to go back and kind of capture all the details, but this on the whiteboard here, I do have it summarized where at the top left here are the client's four major numbers, and this is not including the extra income that this person makes on the side, their side business in coaching. So their net take home is $7,913.16. Total expenses $3. And the action has will begin at to the client. So just keep in mind that initially there was a much higher number, and that number did go down. At 26,
I think we're freezing again, Denzel.
8,080. It looks good though on my end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep it.
I'm gonna continue. Cool, because I think there might be like a 2 to 3 second delay when I talk and you talk, so I'm gonna make sure I go a little slower. So folks, right now, the way Sebastian got to the number of 26,809 so far is based off of the amount of cash flow this client has on an annual basis, along with $16,000 of initial capital that the client has to work with at this point. Keep in mind, there was a higher number before that they were looking at. Now this is the lowest number. Now that we understand how, I'm now going to, in working with clients, I'm going to come to the passion when you come to us. Likely, you as a client have an agenda, something that you're looking to achieve, and then you're coming to a financial professional like Sebastian or myself, where we've got methods of achieving your objective, not just one way of doing things. We have multiple ways of solving your particular objective. What can happen, what I'm seeing in this case study right here is the client's objective and their expectations around it might be a little too over leveraged. In my personal opinion, I'll explain the reasons why, and then I'll share what to consider according to the methods, how I get to my number, on how they can proceed and still achieve their objective. To be clear, Sebastian, this person, they have a way of increasing income through the business, and I don't know what their ultimate like purpose is in regards to the work that they do. But are we on the same page in regards to the desire to eliminate debt? Is that like a priority
It
for
is a
this
priority.
person?
Yes, it is. We just got a comment from Armando. He says that it's extremely glitchy, um, and I think it is glitchy on my side too. Um, how fast could we jump
Okay.
on your channel and just keep this conversation going?
Um, we could and see if that would be better.
I didn't even hear what you
And
just said.
I'll go on. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so for everybody who's on right now, we're gonna move this conversation over to Denzel's channel. And for anyone on that's my audience, I'll get a copy of that from Denzel and put it on. But I do apologize for this, folks. It looks like there's just an internet issue going on here that's causing major glitches and delays, and we don't want that. So we're going to end this broadcast, and we're going to move over to Denzel's channel. We should be there in the next 2 to 5 minutes.